Today's video is brought to you by the Modern Gun School. This is an accredited online university. Whether you're looking to learn a few things or trying to break into a career in the firearms industry, this place is set up to be streamlined and work for you so that you don't have to burn a large quantity of money to get an education in the firearms arts. And that gives you some latitude to pursue other educational pursuits like, a business degree on top of your firearms education. So go check them out at Modern Gun School and tell them that I sent you. Let's get into today's video. Relatively quick video today, guys and gals. The internet has been dumping on Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice for the last week or so, and I have gladly played my role in adding to the discourse on that one because they deserve it. It's been pretty bad. Well, yesterday, Harmeet Dhillon, the Associate Attorney General, got her marching orders to go defend Pam Bondi and the DOJ, talking about all the great and wonderful things that they've been doing to support the Second Amendment.
Convicts to be able to resume enjoying their Second Amendment rights. I think this is a really important and very liberty-oriented position that the DOJ is pushing. We're also looking at including suppressors in the scope of the Second Amendment and how to harmonize the case law and regulations with that. We're working with ATF on ATF's review from top to bottom of firearm regulations. And people have a lot of issues with ATF and how it's administered some of these. There's been some zero tolerance policies by prior administrations, and I think we're going to do a lot better in this administration if folks will give us a chance to, really get rid of some of this old stuff that shouldn't be on the books and harmonize our laws with the constantly evolving precedents. The final point I'm going to make today is there's a case also in the news called Rush versus United States, and in that case, the plaintiffs are appealing or seeking to get certiorari to the United States Supreme Court on National Firearms Act requirements for short-barreled rifles. There's some registration and some taxation requirements in that law. Unfortunately, Supreme Court precedent to date and all of the courts of appeals have not been willing to go so far as to say that short-barreled rifles, whether they're sawn-off or otherwise, are presumptively constitutional. Now, that may be something that could change in the future. It's probably something for people to discuss with Congress, but so far the Supreme Court cases on this issue have held that there are some different characteristics of the short-barreled rifles versus the others that are more commonly used, and they may be more dangerous and so forth. So whether you agree with that or not, it's not really for the DOJ to make that call, but the DOJ's call in this case was our Solicitor General, who's down the hall from me, John Sauer, has opposed cert in that case, holding that there isn't a sufficient ripeness here, there's no circuit split, and the law simply does not support the plaintiff's position in this case. And so these are complicated issues, and I know people are very, very passionate about them. I am too. And so I would ask that folks who are very passionate, interested in these Second Amendment issues, talk to us, talk to Congress, talk to the White House, give us some grace, give us some time to deal with these issues while right now we're in a shutdown and we're still doing so much stuff that is important in matters of public safety. But please trust and believe that this is the most Second Amendment friendly Department of Justice in history. Yes, that's a low bar, yet we managed to rise way above it. I'm proud to be part of that and look forward to hearing from and engaging in dialogue with all of our allies throughout who believe passionately that the Second Amendment is a first-class right in this country. Thank you very much.
While she was making that video talking about how the DOJ is the greatest thing that's ever happened to the Second Amendment and they're the most Second Amendment organization that's ever been around, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the Department of Justice was literally in federal court arguing for the National Firearms Act. The panel correctly held that the NFA's modest restrictions on suppressor possession do not violate the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. The NFA regulation at issue does not target ordinary firearms, such as handguns, but only non-essential firearms accessories that are uniquely adaptable to criminal misuse. Law-abiding citizens remain free to possess suppressors as long as they register them. Also, recent legislative changes mitigates Peterson's taxation concerns. Effective January 1st, 2026, there will be no taxation on making and transferring suppressors. That's not the point. It has never been the point. I'm just going to say that again. It's not rocket surgery, folks. That's what we call a smokescreen. You say one thing over here, and while people are paying attention to that, you do something over here with this hand. That's, for instance, why a lot of things that are going to be very unpopular happen during like major sporting events, bread and circuses. If the Department of Justice wants to earn the reputation as a pro-Second Amendment force, then they need to actually demonstrate it. And just standing up there, going on Fox News saying that you're going to do stuff, doing videos on X ain't it. You got to actually go out there and do some stuff, not just say that you're going to do some stuff. For instance, there's a couple high-profile political prisoners from the firearms space that are currently being held in federal prison under indictments from the Biden administration. Tate Adamayak, the Matthew Hoover situation, those could be resolved. They haven't been. There is still the investigation into the murder of Brian Malinowski. Nobody has been held accountable for any of that sort of stuff. And then you got to stop doing stupid shit in the courts like you're doing. Have you seen a happier animal? Not hardly. I include the shots of me playing with the dog because, let's be honest, the Department of Justice has a record of showing up to gun owners' houses and shooting them and their dogs. And I want a record that he's entirely harmless. I mean, unless, of course, you're a stuffed octopus. Look, I know you guys are trying to be like big and bad against the criminal elements, and you're trying to act hard and pro-law enforcement and, you know, all that sort of stuff, rule of law. But if you use gun control apparatus to accomplish your goals, then you're not pro-Second Amendment. And it doesn't matter what your noble goals are. That is the forbidden fruit. You cannot touch it. You should be destroying it, not using it. We don't see you doing a whole lot of dismantling. We see you doing a whole lot of using that stuff. And you can't lie about it because it's plain as day. He's so confused right now. He doesn't know where it's at. You want this? For a left-handed throw, that wasn't half bad. The National Firearms Act is a gun registry. Plain and simple. I don't care what they call it, whether they call it a shall issue scheme, whether they say that it's presumptively constitutional or not, whether they say, well, it's been the law of the land and it's a tool that we use to enhance prosecutions, to go after folks, to blah, 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 whatever it is. It doesn't matter. There's been lots of things that have been the law of the land that have been demonstrably evil throughout United States history. And this is just another one. And if you use that thing for any purpose, then you're evil as well. And what the Department of Justice is experiencing right now is a rejection of the status quo. People are sick and tired of it. We sent you guys there to do something about these problems, not to use them or reorganize them under some other agencies so they can do it harder later. We sent you there to dismantle it. And all we've seen thus far is that you continue to use it and don't do anything about the injustices that have been perpetrated with it before you got there. So as far as we're concerned, you're not any better than those that came before you. It's the truth. And that's why you're getting ratioed horribly right now. To the point where Harmeet Dhillon's video yesterday got community noted for lying about their pro-Second Amendment activities. And that's what I got for you guys today. You want this? Here.